Hello and welcome to the presentation of the National Library of Luxembourg, drawing attention with special collections. So we started our first domain crawls in 2016 and we were able to expand our team in 2017, which makes the two of us, my colleague Yves Maura, who is responsible for the technical aspects of the Luxembourg Web Archive, and myself, Ben Els, as the digital curator. I am responsible for the content side. For the Luxembourg web, we identify different areas of interest. So first of all, we archive all websites published in the .lu top level domain. We try to collect all websites published on the territory of Luxembourg, and we are also responsible for all websites hosted on servers in Luxembourg. Moreover, we are interested in websites published by non-resident Luxembourg citizens, or more generally by international websites with relevance to Luxembourg. So as a combination of legal deposit and national heritage, that is what makes the Luxembourg web. The legal deposit for websites is an extension of the legal deposit law of media published on paper, which was introduced in 2004 and then expanded in 2009, defining all the roles of the different heritage institutions, different types of media and content. And for the most part, we have to say that for the general audience, this is kind of boring. So what is it that we would like our audience to know about the Luxembourg Web Archive? Well, first of all, people should know that we use different methods to archive content from the internet. First of all, we have our domain crawls, which is our most extensive approach. So 4 times a year, we archive all of the .lu domains and all of the seed lists we have gathered over the years all at once. Then we have the event collections, which have played an important role over the past few years. So surrounding events of national importance, we try to archive a maximum of information over a limited period of time. Election collections are a good example for this, but of course also the ongoing COVID-19 collection. Then lastly, we have the thematic collections, which is the area we would like to concentrate more on over the coming years. So with evolving lists, we would like to adapt a collaborative approach to development, where we try to implicate more and more people, more and more experts into building and developing these thematic collections, and here we can have adapted methods to different types of websites and topics. And as you know, these last 2 types of collections are what is called special collections. So where do we present the web archive? Where can people find more information? We have our platform webarchive.lu, where we explain what we do, how it works, and what we have. So starting with what we do, we explain why it is important to preserve the internet, to preserve content from the web, how it works, how the technical process of capturing content from the internet works, our different methods, some help with the Wayback Machine, FAQs, all of the articles and interviews and blog posts we have published over the past few years, and of course our special collections are also presented here. So starting with the election campaigns from 2017 to 2019, but also events such as the death of our late Grand Duke Jean, and for another quite exceptional event, the tornado that struck the country in 2019 was also a reason to start event collections. Then we have several thematic collections, which are partly already available or in development, so surrounding festivals in Luxembourg, communes and schools, Luxembourg blogs, cultural centers, news media, and Luxembourg Twitter. Those are all in the works, and so now is the question, what kind of information do we present about these special collections? So for the example of the COVID-19 collection, we could present that how much data has already been captured, how many seeds we have, how it is distributed for different kinds of websites, how many crawls we have done, how many daily, weekly and monthly crawls we are doing, and how many Twitter profiles are being archived. But again, for the most part, this is still kind of boring for most people. So what we try to do instead on the website, of course, all the numbers are there. We show how much we have captured and what types of websites. You can open the seed list. We try to describe the collection of what we try to achieve. We give some background information about the curation process, how we try to get the public involved, what the response from the media was. We had a call for participation in April. You can find all the interviews and articles we have published around this collection, and we also did an interview of our own with Serge Tonna, who is a really well-known musician and artist in Luxembourg, and who is quite a controversial figure on social media. So we asked about his perception of the beginning of the pandemic, the consequences on the internet, on social media, what was the situation in the cultural sector, how did people react to these changes in society, and his view of the future of our situation on social media in general. Then we have another category of special collection called Curiosities, where some curious things we can find on the Luxembourg web. We try to publish articles about those. So first of all, we have the mystery of demcarloseinhirm.com. So it's a mystery surrounding a website that unfortunately we don't have the key to enter, and we are still looking for the right answer to access the mysteries behind Carlos' shirt. So yeah, there's not much we know about this website, and we explained this mystery in the last WarcNet challenge, which we were lucky enough to win as well. And we are of course asking for the participation of anyone who could have any clues or ideas about demcarloseinhirm.com. Then we look at chicken on the web. So there is poulet.lu, and we were asking the question, well, what about other websites surrounding chicken from other domains? So we are looking at chicken.com. What is it worth? What is the situation with the German top-level domain? Is there a hähnchen.de? What about poulet.fr? Are these domains available? And what is always part of these articles is always an invitation to participate, an invitation to contribute to these collections. So if people have curious findings of their own, or if they would like to send in their websites, that is always part of the message. And then lastly, we have the .lu quiz, which is just a simple guessing game around .lu domains, where you can find out if you have the right idea what websites are behind these addresses. So coming back to the importance of the special collections, the idea is that the research behind an event collection will build the basis for a thematic collection. So for example, all the research surrounding an election campaign will form the basis for the thematic collection of politics, for example. And then by expanding the basis of the thematic collection, this will improve the starting point for new event collections. And overall, both types of collections will improve the lists for the domain crawls. which is where we archive the most data per year. So developing the special collections will give us a better understanding of the Luxembourg web. It will allow us for better coverage of the Luxembourg web. We will always discover new websites that we couldn't cover in the regular domain crawls, and we can add them afterwards. And that is also why we have to rely on collaboration and participation from different types of users, from different spheres of people who have a shared interest in the utility of the Luxembourg Web Archive. So it is very important to raise awareness in these different user groups and to foster a collaboration, because the involvement of every user group will improve the coverage of the Luxembourg Web Archive. It will improve the utility for every type of user, those who are the closest and most involved to the all the way up to the private users who might just at some point in the future, or might really very occasionally have an interest in using the web archive, but the involvement of all preceding groups will help in improving the service we can offer to everyone. And that is why we are working on a list of thematic collections where we will try to get as many internal and external experts involved, so experts from the National Library, but also external experts maybe from other institutions, other professional associations, for example, but in general, participation from everyone should be possible, should be made very easy and accessible. So all of these thematic collections are going to be developed in the coming years. And one example which is already up and running is the Luxembourg News Media Collection. So from June 1st, 2020, we are archiving all Luxembourg news media on a daily, weekly or monthly basis, so that we are not missing any new information, not missing any updates. And this is of course one of the most important and most used areas of the Luxembourg web. So we are also hoping that once we can present the first results from this pilot project, that this will also attract more attention and awareness to the benefits of archiving the web. And as a first step, also on webarchive.lu, we have the very easy submission form where people can suggest new websites, can suggest their own websites, or simply by contacting us. We try to make this as easily available as possible, and we will of course keep you updated on what is to come in the coming years.